I called it. Stitch vs. Rocket is the most recent episode to come out of Season 10, and so far, it's been the one I was easily the most hyped for upon its reveal. And did that excitement carry over to the episode? Well, I guess that's exactly what I'm about to answer, so let's just go, I guess. First off, I am not about to do this a fourth time, so go check out Cap Sirius's review on the episode. I'll have it linked in the description. We both were pretty equally hyped for this episode, so I'd really recommend you go check it out. Anyways, the second thing I wanted to mention was this review probably won't be too long. I mean, obviously I don't know how long it's gonna be since I just started the script at this point, but I've had a very busy 2 weeks, and it looks like that'll be continuing for more weeks to come after this. So I wanted to use the limited amount of time I had to get this out. So there will probably be some things that I don't really talk about to the full extent I wanted to, but I can always mention it in my full season ranking, so it's not really that huge of a deal. Anyways, let's rush and get into it. I really like Stitch's analysis. Given he is merely the second animated movie character on the show, just makes it so surreal that they're actually talking about him in a series. Sure, they did rush some things, like the first movie's plot, and they didn't even mention stuff like Leroy or the weird samurai manga thing, so it isn't perfect, but I still really enjoyed it, and the cutaway gag is pretty funny. Rocket's analysis, on the other hand, was also good, though not as enjoyable as Stitch's, admittedly. Most of it is just comic panels. They barely even show any clips from the movies, and none from any of the cartoons. Sure, this makes sense for characters like Apocalypse, who don't really have that many on-screen appearances, but for a character like Rocket, who is from the Guardians of the Galaxy, it just feels kind of weird. And yes, I know it's because they were focusing on his comic counterpart rather than the MCU, but I mean, like, you can still show it. You still obviously did. And yeah, sure, this allows us to see some amazing editing by Parker Estopanel, but when most of it is still images that they have to bring to life, it doesn't give them enough time to work on the others, meaning they can't really reach their fullest potential. I can remember most of Stitch's analysis, but I can't say the same for Rocket's, if you get what I mean. But like I said, it's still really well written and edited, so it does get a pass in that remark. It did what it needed to, and it did its job. Also, I love Boomstick talking about raccoons. More of this, please. The only thing I'm really sad about is that one of the best jokes in the episode was merely left as the ending gag for Rocket's preview. God, it had no right being that funny. Anyhow, 2 good run-throughs. Both have their own specific little problem, which doesn't detract a whole lot. I'm pretty satisfied. The fight is similarly very enjoyable, with its own little set of problems. I'll get to them when I get to them. I adore the location of Space Hawaii. Whoever thought of that should be promoted. The ice cream guy is also a really nice touch, though I am wondering how the hell he got there. The setup is kind of random. It has Stitch shooting out of a volcano for literally no reason. It's never explained. It just happens. And I don't really take Stitch to be the kind to get ready for a fight when someone points out the fact that he broke something of theirs. Though I feel Rocket is perfectly in character on the counterpoint, at least from what I know in the MCU. Also, both the sprite work and voice actors are incredible. I adore pretty much everything about Rocket in this animation. The sprite work for him is top-notch. I adore his design, and I might even like it better than the one in the MCU if I'm being completely honest. Stitch's sprite and voice acting can feel a bit strangely off at points, but it's still very solid. Oh, and also, Capsira's totally called the Poor Manchiki reference. I guess my power of foresight has spread about. The beginning skirmish is just a fun time and accentuates everything about what kind of matchup this is. Just plain old cosmic fun. And I'm really thankful it stayed that way throughout the rest of this. They said they wanted people to watch this episode and never have the smile on their face be wiped off. And I feel like they succeeded at that. Also, for the record, Jailhouse Rocket is such a good song. You see what I did there? Because, you know, like, records play music, and It fits the vibe of the animation so flawlessly. My only wish is that it was a tad bit longer because I feel like there is a lot more potential for this track. But from what we've got, it's still really great. A W job for Theirwolf as usual. Music is so important to both these characters, and they were somehow able to convey just the type of music that their series are known for in this song. I can totally see this being put in a Lilo and Stitch as well as a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They definitely nailed it. The forest scene is probably my favorite part of the fight, honestly. I really love the scene from Guardians 2 that they were referencing here, and this is no different. First off, can I just say how smooth the movements are at this part? Sure, that goes for most of the animation, but it is especially noticeable here with the unique lighting over them and the almost zero jank. Just stuff like Stitch looking around and the guns appearing just have such a good amount of flow that I can't really describe. The hand-drawn shot is so freaking well done. Stitch on fire is really funny and cute, and Rocket calmly standing on a tree branch pressing buttons and causing mayhem is comedy gold and shows us exactly how his character is in only a few seconds. I also like the small little part after with the bomb. I just thought it was a pretty cute part. That leads into another thing I like, which is Stitch showing his smarts by using the wave caused by the bomb and a piece of the destroyed ship to start surfing his way towards Rocket. And then Stitch says the completely awful and disgusting phrase that is Niga Nala Quista, and oh wait guys, I didn't mean to, it was just an accident, it slipped out, I swear. I guess I can just try that again? I mean, come on. I've learned from my mistakes, and I've become better. Surely this lovely internet will understand that and give me the second chance I need to prove myself, right? Right? I guess let's just run it back. Anyways, Stitch says that awful, forbidden phrase and causes Rocket of all people, one of the most foul-mouthed, well, as foul-mouthed as you can get for PG-13 characters in cinema, to almost puke from pure disgust and call for a bigger gun. That is the kind of comedic genius I was hoping for from this fight. I love it. The fight on the water, or over it, I guess, is fun. Although there are a couple things that bother me here. I have no idea what really happened at this point. I know it's supposed to be Stitch's power surge, but that isn't really conveyed all too well. It just kind of happens. Also, Stitch surviving the gun, or Thanos Buster, sorry, that they said could kill him, kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. And that isn't a case of, oh yeah, it could rough Stitch up pretty badly or something like that. No, they straight up say it would kill him if Rocket got a good shot. And it barely did anything to him. Sure, he might have lost an arm, but you know losing a limb on Death Battle isn't that big of a deal. So maybe they could have had Stitch avoid it, but fall into the water so there's still that little tension, and have Rocket fire a blast into the water so we can get that slip up they were talking about in the post-analysis. Who knows. Anyhow, I love Stitch using the gun Rocket threw away as the killing blow. Again, shows his incredible smarts and quick thinking. Also, I really like how Stitch said aloha as his last words to Rocket, because in Leroy and Stitch, they make a big deal about aloha meaning hello, but it can also mean goodbye. It's a neat little touch, you know? One final time they get to show Stitch's smarts by having him bite the thing that he's seen control almost all of Rocket's weapons, so that's pretty cool. The killing blow itself isn't too special, but I really love how Rocket's F-bomb gets cut off because, one, censored or cut off swear words will always be funnier than saying the swear word for comedic effect, and two, I don't think saying the whole word would have fit well in the episode with a Disney character in it, so yeah. I really love Rocket's final line delivery, fits him perfectly, although they did not need to kill Ice Cream Man. I will not take this. Anyways, yeah, that's the fight. There are quite a few problems here and there, but overall, I still liked it a whole lot. It definitely did not top Chosen Born, and I'm not sure if I liked it more than Killua vs. Misaka, but I'll probably place it higher than that anyway since I'm more attached to both these characters. I'll give it a high 7, low 8 out of 10, around there. I'll see how it holds up at the end of the year. But yeah, really fun episode that I think delivered on the hype pretty well. It's also nice to see that the Raptor enjoyed it too. And the next time, well, look at that. I f***ing called it yet again. Vader vs. Obito, an episode that has been discussed by the community for years at this point, and one that the community has really been hyped for, especially Tenebrae, who just got his most wanted. Dang, everyone's getting W's this season. I've already talked about my thoughts on the matchup itself, so I don't have much to say. The previews and sneak peek are all out by the time I'm writing this, and I thought they were all really good. The fight does seem a little bit slow, but I'm sure it'll pick up on later. Also, I'm not expecting the same amount of energy from Obi-Wan vs. Kakashi in a character like Darth Vader, so I think it fits. My only other problems so far are the visuals. The setting looks kind of bland, and the models look kind of toy-like. However, once we start getting more effects and trippy stuff going on later, I'm sure it'll really pick up the pace. If it's anything close to the quality level of Obi-Wan vs. Kakashi, then we're in for a real treat. I'm hyped for this one. Again, sorry if this review feels rushed, because it was. I didn't really have a lot of time to work on it, and yeah, that's about it. I'm just gonna finish the script now. Since I have now predicted 2 episodes in a row successfully, thanks to my prediction video, I'm gonna say the next episode after Vader vs. Obito is Boss Baby vs. Springtrap.